Yahweh Isis, I am counselor of the people. So when I'm speaking in Hebrew, I want to make it clear to you that our trials and tribulations was beyond massive. Now your path is.
Listen up, listen up. About to go on this trail. And if you see, this is Garvey Springs Trail, right? Now, we know it ain't named after our forefather Marcus Garvey, you know what I'm saying? In any event, notice to say permitted uses. So this is what this trail is permitted for. Hiking trails. Be careful. That's all I'm saying. Is be careful. All right?
Okay, so why are we going on this trail if we ain't got no guns, huh?
Don't be scared of the bears.
Don't be scared of the bears. that shit don't even sound right there. Did you hear about?
All right, so the goal of this hiking trail is, see my dogs is going crazy, I'm gonna kick their ass. We are getting firewood. When you see wood, you gotta make sure that it's dry wood that's feasible for the fire. So for example, right, see wood like this is not feasible. You see the fungus on it and it's wet. So we're not looking for wood like that. Now maybe something like this, which you see is real hollow. And that means it's easy to break. This is crazy. But yeah, man, this is the life, man. Out here, Feast of Tabernacles, man. You know what I'm saying? The dogs enjoying it too, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the young brothers enjoying it. I don't know about Yaakov. He look kind of mad, like, bro, let's finish this shit. You know what I'm saying? But we taking our time with this, bro. We taking our time. Yeah, yeah. So y'all see us here on the trails. I'm gonna be honest with you. We are very high up. And this camera doesn't do it any justice because everything just blends in when you're looking at the camera. But if you was here in real life, Brother Thamak, how high up are we?
All the way up.
We all the way up. You understand? But it's clean, fresh water, straight from the river. All right, and we just walking up. We're just gonna keep going up. And this is not the place to look for firewood, of course, but we like the scenery and we like taking pictures because we're very vain and glorious like that. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to say, you know, after giving all praise to Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach Yahushai, I want to give double honors to the elders of Hayasharala Kanas for teaching me the knowledge. I want to also give double honors to the elder Nasi Aleph, who before we was keeping the law, you know, we used to keep tabernacles, but we wasn't dwelling in booths. So Nasi Aleph, when he invited us out, we began to dwell in booths with him. And after that, that's what inspired us to keep the law even more. You understand? And I also want to give double honors to a virtuous woman, a Proverbs 31 woman, Ima Zakaria, all right? Who inspired all of us from HYK to keep this law. Hallelujah.
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 Abba Yahweh, want to thank you for blessing us to be able to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles. Ashar Sakwav. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Happy Sukkot to everybody out there celebrating the Tabernacles. All right, this is the Apostles of New Jerusalem, one nation. And we're going to follow the law. So we're going to read these scriptures real quick to for us to keep the law of dealing with tabernacles. And it reads, the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 42 to 44. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. all that are Israelite born shall dwell in booths, that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths. So this dwelling in booths, when you read the scriptures, we were actually supposed to build our own booths. See, tents are technically considered booths, but according to the scriptures, we were supposed to build our own booths, take goodly branches, put them together, and make our own tents. And the Lord said we had to do this to remember what it was like to be in the wilderness. Yeah, you can sit down, sis. I'm going to read it again. That your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of the Lord. So this is the feast of the Lord. This is the feast that we celebrating starting from the 14th, the 15th day of the 7th month. And according to the scriptures, while we're dwelling in booths, we were also supposed to be doing this. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 10. And Moses commanded them, saying, at the end of every 7 years, in the solemnity of the year of release, at the feast of Tabernacles, which is what we're celebrating now today, when all Israel is to come to appear before the Lord thy God in a place which he shall choose, thou shalt read this law before all Israel in their hearing. So the scriptures say every 7 years we were supposed to, on the Feast of Tabernacles, read the book of the law. Throughout the course of Tabernacles, throughout the course of the week, we're supposed to read the whole book of the law, right? So in honor of the unity of the apostles of New Jerusalem and one nation coming together, right? We know that we don't know the year of Jubilee anymore, the year of release anymore, right? But in the kingdom we will. But in honor of the unity of the two camps coming together, we're going to read this book of the law throughout the course of the week. And it reads on. Verse 11. When all Israel shall come to appear before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose. So all of the nation of Israel had to come together and read this book of the law in tabernacles. It was commanded that everybody come Passover, Pentecost, and tabernacles, right? So this is what we're going to do. Gather the people. Thou shalt read this law before all Israel in their hearing. Gather the people together, men and women and children, and we got the little one right there, and thy stranger that is within thy gates, meaning even if we had non-Israelites that lived amongst us, they could have been servants, slaves to Israelites. They had to participate too. This wasn't just a day off for our servants. They had to hear the book of the law as well too. That they may hear and that they may learn and fear the Lord your God and observe to do all the words of this law. So what we're about to participate in right now is a reading of the law with minor interpretation, minor linking of scriptures. We're just going to read the law straight through, and every now and then give understanding of what we're reading. But we're not, this is not a class. This is what is commanded for us in the law, to read the book of the law straight through. All right? And we're going to do this every night and every morning until it's time for us to leave, dwelling in booths for the 7 days. All right? The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 1.
Hold on up.
Don't worry about it. You can just listen out.
I'm there.
Grandmama.
These be the words which Mashah spake unto all Yasha'Allah on this side of Jordan, in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea, between Paran and Tophel and Laban and Hizrath and Dizhah. There are 11 days' journey from Horeb by the way of Mount Seir, unto Kadesh Barnea. And it came to pass in the 14th year, in the 11th month, on the first day of the month, that Mashah spake unto the children of Yasha'Allah according to all that the Lord hath given him in commandment unto them, after he had slain Sihon, the king of the Amorites, which dwelt in Heshbon, and Og, the king of Bashan, which dwelt in Ashtaroth and Edrei. So these are nations that came against us while we were in the wilderness. These were nations that when we came out of Egypt and we was dwelling in the wilderness, they came up against us, or they didn't allow us to have passage into their land. So now, after having victory over our enemies, right, now Moses is speaking to the nation of Israel. That's why soon we're going to make it a custom to actually really read the book of the law starting from Genesis. But this year, we're going to start it from the book of Devarim, the book of Deuteronomy. All right? Verse 5. And on this side of Jordan, in the land of Moab, began Mashah to declare this law, saying, the Lord, our power, Elohim, spake unto us in Horeb, saying, ye have dwelt long enough in this mountain. Turn you and take your journey, and go to the mount of the Amorites, and unto all the places nigh thereunto, in the plain, in the hills, and in the vale, and in the south, and by the sea, unto Lebanon, unto the great river, the river Euphrates. Behold, I have set the land before you. Go in and possess the land, which Yahweh sware unto your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and give unto them, and to their seeds after them, and speak unto you that time, saying, I am not able to bear you myself alone. So this is Mashah through the spirit of Yahweh saying, listen, now we're about to go into the land of Israel. So now is the time for you to take the land, right? The same way how we're going to take the kingdom when Yahweh shall come back. But the land was not just going to be just straight given to the Israelites. The Israelites had to conquer their enemies in order to get the land. All right? Verse 9. And I spake unto you at that time, saying, I am not able to bear you myself alone. Yahweh, your power, have multiplied you, and behold, you are this day as the stars of heaven for a multitude. And Yahweh, the power of your fathers, make you 1,000 times so many more as ye are, and bless you as he has promised you. How can I myself alone bear your concurrence and your burden and your strife? Take ye wise men and understanding, and know among your tribes, and I will make them rulers over you. And ye answered me and said, the thing which thou hast spoken is good for us to do. So now an order is being established, because Moses, he had to judge the whole nation. And when you read back in Exodus, it was so much of a burden for Moses to judge the nation. His father-in-law, Jethro, had to tell him, listen, you need to get leaders of every tribe and have them wise men, people of understanding who could judge situations, and have them judge for you. And this is how it stayed in the land of Israel until we were kicked out of our land, until we was brought into various captivities. You understand? So even now to this day, when there's no penalty written for a law, you have to get wise men of understanding to declare what should be done. Because not every law has a penalty written. There's some things that's black and white. You do this, this is what happened. If you don't do this, this is how you're supposed to deal with it. But then there's other things that say thou shalt not, or thou shalt, but there's no penalty. So what happens? A wise man of understanding who know the scriptures have to break it down to you and say, this is how you should handle your situation. Verse 16, and I charge your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is with him. Ye shall not respect persons in your judgment. So these wise men, they had to have a non-biased judgment for any Israelite, including non-Israelites that were amongst us. All right, because we had to give judgment to them too. You know, we had servants and slaves and people that would come through our land. So we had to give righteous judgment amongst them too. Right? Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. You shall not be afraid of the face of man, for judgment is Yahweh's. And the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it. And I commanded you at that time all the things which ye shall do. And when we departed from Horeb, we went through all the great and terrible wilderness, which you saw by the way of the mountain of the Amorites, as Yahweh thy power commanded us. And we came to Kadesh Barnea. And I said unto you, ye are come unto the mountain of the Amorites, which Yahweh thy power doth giveth unto us. Behold, Yahweh thy power have set the land before thee. Go up and possess it. Yahweh, thy power of thy fathers, have said unto thee, fear not, neither be discouraged. And ye came near unto me, every one of you, and said, we will send men before us, and they shall search us out the land, and bring us word again, by what way we must go up, and into the cities we shall come. And the saying pleased me well. And I took 12 men of you, one of a tribe. So now they were approaching a particular land of Israel that the Amorites were dwelling, because the land of Israel wasn't Israel yet. This was the land of Canaan still. So you had various African nations living there already. So this particular African nation was in this land that they came across, and the Spirit came on Moses, and Moses said, listen, it's time for us to go to war with them. We got to take that land. And the people said, first, before we go take the land, let's send out spies to see how we could go to war against them. And Moses said, that's wise counsel. So he picked out one person from each tribe of the nation of Israel and sent 12 men to go spy out the land. And they turned and went up into the mountain and came into the valley of Eshcol and searched it out. And they took the fruit of the land in their hands and brought it down unto us, and brought us a word again and said, it is a good land which the Lord thy power doth giveth us. Notwithstanding, ye would not go up, but rebelled against the commandment of Yahweh thy power. And ye murmured in your tents and said, because Yahweh hated us, he hath brought us forth out of the land of Egypt to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites to destroy us. So when you read in the earlier books, what was happening? They went out to spy out the land and they got scared. They knew the land was good. The food was good. The grapes, the fruit, the vegetation was good. But they was afraid to fight against the Amorites because they were giants. This African nation was known to have tall men. All right, men tall enough to look into your first floor window or climb into your second floor window in your building. You understand? These was really tall men. So tall that they compared them to trees. You understand? So the Israelites got scared, and the only ones who came back with a good report and said, listen, we could fight these cats, we could beat them, was Joshua and Caleb. Those are the only men. The other 10 men were afraid. They were scared and advised Moses not to go to war with them.
What tribe was Caleb from?
I believe Joshua was from the tribe of Ephraim, and I'm not sure Caleb, but we gotta look it up. All right. Mm-hmm. So this is what was happening. So they rebelled against the Lord, and they refused to go fight against the Amorites. All right. And verse 27. And ye murmured in your tents and said, because Yahweh hated us, He hath brought us forth out of the land of Egypt to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites to destroy us. So while we dwelling in tents, to remember this time. Our people were in our tents doing what? Complaining. Oh my goodness, we came out here to die. There's no water, no food. Afraid of dwelling in the wilderness, afraid of learning how to be a nation on your own. When you become free and you become a free people, you have to start from the bottom and you have to build a society. And our people weren't ready to do that. They still had a slave mentality. They had it good in Egypt. All right? As a slave, you just was giving your food, giving your water, giving your clothes. So people got used to that lifestyle. They thought it was better living in Egypt. The same way our people think today. Verse 28. Whither shall we go up? Our brethren have discouraged our heart, saying, the people is greater and taller than we. The cities are great and walled up to heaven. And moreover, we have seen the sons of the Anakims there. Then I said unto you, dread not, neither be afraid of them. Yahweh thy power, which goeth before you, he shall fight for you, according to all that he did for you in Egypt before your eyes, and in the wilderness, where thou hast seen how Yahweh thy power bear thee, as a man doth bear his son, in all the ways that ye went, until ye came unto this place. Yet in this thing ye did not believe. Ye did not believe the Lord your God, who went in the way before you to search, you out the place to pitch your tents in, and fire by night to show you by what way ye should go, and a cloud by day. So the Most High, while we was in the wilderness living there for 40 years, you had the chariots above us. In the daytime, the chariot looked like a cloud from a distance. But at nighttime, the chariot looked like a fire flamed engulfed in a ball. You understand? And it would go to a particular area in the wilderness and say, look, you're going to camp here until I move. So we would go wherever the chariot took us, that's where we went, and that's where we dwelt at. And that's where we had Passover at, and wherever the chariot took us, that's where we celebrated the feast days, in the wilderness. So there wasn't no one place in the wilderness where we dwelt. All right? And it reads on. Verse 31. And in the wilderness where thou hast seen how the Lord thy God bare thee, as a man doth bear his son, in all the way that ye went, until ye came unto this place. Yet in this thing ye did not believe the Lord your God, who went in the way before you, to search you out a place to pitch your tents in a fire by night, to show you by the way what way ye should go, and in a cloud by day. And the Lord heard the voice of your words, and was wroth, and sware, saying, you know we was a complaining people if you made the Lord mad. Surely there shall not one of you, these men of this evil generation, see that good land, which I swear to give unto your fathers, save Caleb and the son of Jephunneh. He shall see it, and to him will I give the land that he have trodden upon, and to his children, because he have wholly followed the Lord. So Joshua and Caleb was the only ones who lived in that generation to see the land. Everybody else died. Also, Yahweh was angry with me for your sake, saying, thou also shalt not go thither. So peep that. Moses said, the Lord was mad at me because of y'all. Y'all was so wicked in the wilderness, y'all made Moses black out and get beside himself. And you know what's funny? The scripture tell you Moses was the most humble man upon the face of the earth. So that means that our people was such complainers and so wicked that they took the most humble man on the face of the earth and made him get beside himself. And that could happen. Some people think when you come
God
into this
bless you.
truth that everybody gonna be righteous and good. That's not how it's gonna be. It's not gonna be a perfect picture like in the world when you go to church. When you come into the truth, that's when you start seeing even more of the character of the Israelites, knowing we the people of the book. But Joshua, the son of Nun, which standeth before thee, he shall go in thither. Encourage him, for he shall cause Israel to inherit it. Moreover, your little ones, which ye said should be a prey, and your children, which in that day had no knowledge between good and evil, they shall go in thither, and unto them will I give it, and they shall possess it. But as for you, turn ye and take your journey into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea. Then ye answered and said unto me, we have sinned against the Yahweh. We will go up and fight according to all that Yahweh our power commanded us. And when ye had girded on every man his weapon of war, ye were ready to go up into the hill. And Yahweh said unto me, say unto them, go not up, neither fight, for I am not among you, lest ye be smitten before your enemies. So I spake unto you, and you would not hear, but rebelled against the commandment of Yahweh, and went presumptuously up unto the hill. And the Amorites which dwelt in that mountain came out against you, and chased you, and bees do, and destroyed you in Seir, even unto Hermah. And ye returned and wept before Yahweh. But Yahweh would not hearken unto your voice, nor give ear unto you. So ye abode in Kadesh many days, according unto the days that ye abode there. So now they decided they wanted to fight. But the Most High wasn't with them. So what happened? They got their butts kicked. We're going to read chapter 2, and it's the last chapter.
You know the crazy thing? They tried to fight without him. That's
Yeah,
the crazy
they tried to
thing.
fight without him.
Yeah, like, we don't need them. We'll go up there ourselves. Like,
Came back crying.
yeah.
Then we turned and took our journey into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea, as Yahweh spake unto me. And we compassed Mount Seir many days. And Yahweh spake unto me, saying, ye have compassed this mountain long enough. Turn you northward, and command thou the people, saying, ye are to pass through the coast of your brethren, the children of Esau, which dwell in Seir, and they shall be afraid of you. Take ye good heed unto yourselves, therefore. Meddle not with them, for I will not give you of their land. No, not so much as a foot breadth, because I have given Mount Seir unto Esau for a possession. So we had to go through Esau land. But to show you that the Lord is not a respecter of persons, the Lord said, look, that's their land. So you ain't going to take their land. You're just going to go through it to get to yours. Ye shall buy meat of them for money, that ye may eat. And ye shall also buy water of them for money, that ye may drink. For Yahweh thy power hath blessed thee in all the works of thy hand. He knoweth thy walking through this great wilderness. These 40 years Yahweh thy power have been with thee. Thou hast lacked nothing. So the Most High provided for them 40 years while they was in the wilderness. And when we passed by our brethren, the children of Esau, which dwelt in Mount Seir, through the way of the plain of Elath, and from Ezion Geber, we turned and passed by the way of the wilderness of Moab. And Yahweh said unto me, distress not the Moabites, neither contend with them in battle, for I will not give thee of their land for a possession, because I have given Ar unto the children of Lot for a possession. The Eames dwelt therein in time past, a people great and many and tall as the Anakims, which also were accounted giants as Anakims, but Moabites called them Emins. So you had giants that lived in the land that Moab once lived in. But the Lord gave them that land. So the Lord allowed them to overcome the people that was there before them and take that land as well. Because when you look at Genesis chapter 10 and the separation of the nations, when God was dividing the nations, everybody was fighting for their land. Everybody was going where they saw fit. So if the Lord allowed you to win the battle, the Lord blessed you with that land. You understand? If you didn't win the battle, that wasn't for you. The Lord wanted you to go somewhere else. So everybody was given their land, given their own culture, given their own borders.
Giving their portion.
But now man decided, I want to rule the world, so I want to take this person land. I want to take that person land. But notice how Yahweh said to Israel, listen, you can't take their land. That's their land. Now because they broke the laws of God, God going to give us the whole world.
God.
Right? Verse 10. The Ems dwelt therein in time past, and a people great and many and tall as the Anakims, which also were accounted giants as Anakims. But the Moabites called them Ems. The Horims also dwelt in Seir before times, but the children of Esau succeeded them when they had destroyed them from before them, and dwelt there in their stead, as Israel did unto the land of his possession, which Yahweh gave unto them. Now rise up, said I, and get you over the brook Zir. And we went over the brook Zir, and the space in which we came from Kadesh Barnea until we were come over the brook of Zered was 38 years, until the generation of men of war were wasted out from among the hosts, as the Lord sware unto them. For indeed the hand of the Lord was against them, to destroy them from among the hosts until they were consumed. So it came to pass, when all the men of war were consumed and dead from among the people, Yahweh spake unto me, saying, Thou art to pass over through the coast of Moab this day. And when thou comest nigh over against the children of Ammon, distress them not, nor meddle with them. For I will not give thee the land of the children of Ammon any possession, because I have given it unto the children of Lot for a possession. That also was accounted a land of giants. Giants dwelt therein in old time, and the Amorites called them Zamzummim, a people great and many and tall as the Anakims. But Yahweh destroyed them before them, and they succeeded them, and dwelt in their stead, as he did the children of Esau, which dwelt in Seir, when he destroyed the Horims from before them, and they succeeded them and dwelt in their stead even unto this day. And the Avims, which dwelt in Hezrim, even unto Azah, and Kathrim, which came forth out of Kethar, destroyed them and dwelt in their stead. Rise ye up, take your journey, and pass over the river Aran. Behold, I have given unto thy hand Sihon, the Amorite, king of Heshbon, and his land. Begin to possess it, and contend with him in battle. This day will I begin to put the dread of thee and the fear of thee upon the nations that are under the whole heaven, who shall hear report of thee, and shall tremble, and be in anguish because of thee. And I sent messengers out of the wilderness of Kidmoth unto Sihon, king of Heshbon, with words of peace, saying, Let me pass through thy land. I will go along by the highway, I will neither turn in unto the right hand nor unto the left. Thou shalt sell me meat for money that I may eat, and give water for money that I may drink. Only I will pass through my feet of my feet. As the children of Esau which dwelt in Seir, and the Moabites which dwelt in Ar, did unto me, until I shall pass over Jordan unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth us. But Sihon, king of Heshbon, would not let us pass by. For the Lord thy God hardened his spirit, and made his heart obstinate, that he might deliver him into thy hand, as appeareth this day. And the Lord said unto me, Behold, I have begun to give Sihon and his land before thee. Begin to possess it, that thou mayest inherit his land. Then Sihon came out against us, and he and all against us, he and all his people, to fight as Jazah. And Yahweh our power delivered him before us, and we smote him and his sons and all his people, and we took all his cities at that time, and utterly destroyed the men and the women and the little ones of every city. We left none to remain. Only the cattle we took for a prey unto ourselves, and the spoil of the cities which we took from Ar, which is by the brink of the river of Arnon, and from the city that is by the river, even unto Gilead. There was not one city too strong for us. The Lord our God delivered all unto us. Only unto the land of the children of Ammon thou camest not, nor unto any place of the river of Jabbok, nor unto the cities of the mountains, nor unto whatsoever Yahweh thy power forbade us. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Shema Mashiach Yahushua, amen.
We use terminologies like, oh, I'm in the belly of the beast. You don't even know where that phrase come from. The belly of the beast. You don't even know what it means to be in the belly of the beast.
Satan when you think that the true Jews do not exist. And he deletes everything that we know of about the Bible. But the Israelites are human beings who went through prophecy. And prophecy is proven through the living.
Hey yo, we running out of time. When Christ come back, could we really say we ready for that? Hey yo, we running out of time.
We give them all of our praise, cause we really living in the last days.
Hey yo, we running out of time. When Christ come back, could we really say we ready for that? Hey yo, we running out of time.
We give them all of our praise, cause we really living in the last days.